All right. Next up, question number 3 for State Your Case. T.O., is Arizona or Gonzaga the most dangerous team on the West Coast?
Gonzaga, baby. I'm gonna pull a Jeff Goodman point guard play. Point guard play, point guard play. You know that button that you see on Instagram where it's just like you don't know what to say, so you just bang that button? Point guard play. That's the one. That's for Goodman. No, look, Nembhard is that good. And Kirk Kriisa, you got to love him. You got to love him for what he is. But when it comes to close games in the NCAA tournament, he could be the one to get you. And he's shown that against really good teams, it can hurt you. Look, I've been as big a naysayer about Gonzaga as there is because I think there's several different ways you can beat Gonzaga this year, especially with so many older, bigger, stronger players. Because I think Chet Holmgren is starting to figure it out. His confidence is through the roof. He's shooting 45% from three at 7 foot, whatever he is. 45% from three, Fanta.
You want to hear a crazy stat about Chet?
Numbers. Yes.
Here's a crazy stat about Chet. He is the first player in college basketball history to average 14 points, 3 blocks, shoot 60% from the floor, and 40% from three. Nobody has ever done that. In all of the years that college basketball has existed, nobody has ever done that. That's incredible.
And look, it's subpar competition. West Coast Conference, yada, yada, yada. Oh, they're good. No, they're not. It's still the West Coast Conference. And they are rummaging through everybody there. But look, Gonzaga still has dudes. So give me Gonzaga over that for no other reason than they match up well everywhere except for point guard play. Give me Gonzaga.
I'm going with Arizona.
Oh, curveball.
They've only lost one time since December. And they've only lost 2 times all season. In a more battle-tested league. The road trips in that league are tougher. You have to play twice in 3 days. Yeah, I had to stop.
I like how you caught yourself when you said when you were about to say better. You're like, you know what? Actually, it's the Pac-12. I don't know.
Right. Yes. Okay, here's the deal. Ben Mathurin gives them a chance against anybody in America. They could beat anybody with him. I want him on my team. He is versatility personified at 6'6", 6'7", the ability to score the basketball at multiple levels, the ability to defend, play make. I love this kid. And I think if he played on the East Coast, we'd be giving him even more love because I think he'd be on at better times of the day. I really think he's a product of that. I do. You're squinting at me, do you? Do you believe that or no?
Yeah. No, you're right. He's definitely a product of people don't stay up to watch his games.
Just saying.
They're on late.
Okay, so length factor. They have that. They have plenty of it. And when you have length, that was the number one reason why, to me, a couple weeks ago, Auburn was the number one team in the country. On this show, we talked about the ability to protect the rim. Well, Arizona could do that. And to be able to essentially put a pair of 7-footers on the floor, Tabellis is listed at 6'11". But to have Tabellis and Christian Coloco is really the glue of this operation because I think he does so many little things for them. They have such a successful formula going for them. Offensively, the ball can move. It can move, and it can move well when Kirk Kriisa is playing under control. And I know that that's a big qualifier. But I also think that this Arizona team has enough beyond him to be able to sometimes cover up the things that we talk about as issues against the competition that they're going to see early in the NCAA tournament. Remember, the line here between the two is very thin. You're asking us Gonzaga or Arizona. I think that Dalen Terry might be the single most integral piece to this team going forward because I like his ability to do some playmaking. I like his ability to shoot the basketball. And I think he's really important to them. When they've played their best, it seems like Terry is playing a very large part of that on both ends of the floor. But I think that Tommy Lloyd has done a terrific job of taking all this talent that he inherited and being able to mesh it into something that really that really looks like a team product, and that's exactly what they are. So I'll go with the 24-2 team in the Pac-12. And don't get me wrong, I could end up eating my words, but I will have to say that Gonzaga's inability to get that one played a part in this decision. And maybe it shouldn't have, but I will say it does. And I do think playing in the WCC has played a role in their inability to get the big one.
Yeah. Hey, one more thing to capitalize on what he said about them sharing the ball. Arizona's number 1 in the country in assists per field goal.
They share it.
And what I mean is they move that ball. For every time they score, 66% of the times that they score, it's on an assist. That's big time numbers.
Yes,
and Gonzaga is normally at the top of that list as well. The thing that I think is really impressive is that those are the top 2 teams when it comes to defensive effective field goal percentage, right? We talk a lot about how Gonzaga is not tough enough defensively and this and that and whatever, but Gonzaga is very, very much a really good defensive team this year. And to me, that's why I would probably have to lean them. I don't fully trust Kirk Risa, but I do think that the fact that you have 2 real weapons in your front court, and you have a guy in Chet Holmgren that's going to be able to space the floor and create room for Drew Timme to operate, and you have a guy that's going to be a rim protector that will be able to, at the very least, deal with Christian Koloko inside and allows Gonzaga to get out and pressure on the perimeter. To me, that's kind of ends up being what the difference maker is for these 2 teams. But I'll tell you this much. I would not be surprised if on April 4th in New Orleans, we were watching Gonzaga play Arizona for the right to cut down the Nets. And look, there was a point in my life where I was really hoping that both of those teams would be in the Western region so that we can get Tommy Lloyd versus Mark Few for the right to go to the Final Four. And I've scrapped that. I've gotten rid of it. I don't get him in the title game.
Wow.
Tommy Lloyd, Mark Few, Gonzaga, Arizona playing for a national title. Can you imagine the story? How
CBS would hate that, though.
How much drama would be involved there? Think about that. I'm here for the mess, and that would be messy as hell.
There would be a lot of drama.
That would be messy as hell. And I'm 100% here for it. That's what I want. We would get so many people paying attention. We would have so much to talk about. We could turn this show into First Take. It'd be unbelievable.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm going to say maybe because everybody east of the Mississippi, like how much have they really been watching those 2 teams, and how much are they invested in those 2 teams?
I don't care. Like whatever. If you're in the Eastern time zone, the only legitimate time zone, and you are not watching Gonzaga and Arizona, then come on, you got to get it together. You're not a real college hoops fan if you're not watching these teams play, because they are thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Thoroughly entertaining.
But by the time, here's the thing about that whole thing. I know that we talk about ratings and what's good for the sport and what's good for the game. Like national championship game, by that point, there are a lot of worse options than Gonzaga, Arizona. I'll tell you what, the network execs were not happy when Texas Tech met Virginia a couple years back. That didn't do much for them. Guess what?
That was an unbelievable game.
The game got a great rating. You know why? People like a championship game. They do. Yep. It's kind of like when the Rays made the World Series a couple years ago, and their ratings, they're terrible, horrible. But they ended up playing a pretty epic series, and people still, like, we sometimes get so in the weeds on that stuff. To me, tournament ratings, what happens on the TV side, get more impacted for the negative when Oral Roberts beats Ohio State. And now we have Oral Roberts in Florida. That game's getting bumped to True TV. It can't be on CBS. It's not going to get the rating. Upsets are great in that they're like, it's an upset. They are not great for deeper in the NCAA tournament. Just saying.
Unless you get Oral Roberts in the Final Four.
Bingo.
And it's also,
but that's not going to happen, you know.
Yeah, but it's also like college. But part of the charm of college basketball is the fact this is the only sport on the planet where, well, I take that back. In soccer in England, you can have runs that are similar to Oral Roberts getting like to an Elite Eight. But it's the only sport in America where you can have this level of Cinderella. It's the only one. So I do think that people kind of gravitate towards that. Now, they're all once you get to the very end of the tournament, Sweet 16, Elite 8, like you kind of want those big juggernaut matchups because like you want to see them. I want to see Auburn play Kentucky again. I want to see Texas Tech find a way to go up against someone like Kentucky or Duke or whoever it is. So you want those kind of big primetime matchups because that's what makes the sport so fascinating. But I get it, and hopefully people don't make these decisions based off of what the ratings are going to be. It's not like CBS ratings is going to impact any of our pockets. It's not going to impact anything that we do. And frankly, Arizona fans, Gonzaga fans, Texas Tech fans, Auburn fans, all of you guys, we do really good numbers on those.
Yeah, and it's healthy.
So keep coming, baby. Keep coming. Give me more.
Yeah.
All right.
It's healthy for the sport too. Like Baylor winning a national title, it was healthy. It's healthy to have different teams, different brands emerge. If we get Zona, Gonzaga, Arizona fans are great fans. That would be terrific.
Mm-hmm.